In the shadow of the Las Vegas Strip, where the lights burn brightest, there's a place the city forgot. A quiet stretch of cracked pavement and empty storefronts. No music, no traffic, no signs of life. This used to be one of Vegas's busiest shopping districts. A place where locals met, tourists wandered, and small businesses thrived in the glow of the casinos. Now, it's a graveyard of glass and neon.
The signs still hang. The logos still fade under the desert sun.
But inside, there's nothing. Just silence and dust. What happened here? How did a once bustling retail hub surrounded by billion-dollar resorts end up abandoned and ignored? Tonight, we'll uncover the truth behind this forgotten strip mall, the story of greed, collapse, and the changing face of a city that only celebrates winners. Because in Las Vegas, not every bet pays off. This is Decay Report. And this is the story of Vegas's forgotten shopping district. If you drive just a few blocks off the Las Vegas Strip, the lights start to fade. The noise dies down, and then suddenly, it feels like you've left the city completely. Here, where there used to be life in motion, you'll find something unexpected: silence.
Rows of dark storefronts, boarded windows, sun-bleached signs for stores that don't exist anymore.
It's a part of Vegas few tourists ever see, and most locals don't talk about. This was once the shopping district for the everyday Vegas resident. Before the outlet malls and online shopping, this was where people bought clothes, ate lunch, got their hair cut, and met friends. It wasn't glamorous, but it was real. Today, it's gone. A ghost mall in the middle of the desert, surrounded by some of the most expensive real estate in America. The question is, how does that happen?
How can a city built on constant growth leave behind entire blocks like this?
To understand, you have to go back to the boom years. In the early 2000s, Vegas was unstoppable. Tourism was at an all-time high, housing prices were soaring, and developers couldn't build fast enough. Malls, mini plazas, restaurants, they popped up everywhere. Investors believed that if you built something near the Strip, it would print money forever. For a while, they were right. These small shopping centers thrived off casino workers, locals, and overflow tourists. But everything changed when the economy crashed in 2008. The Strip survived, barely. But the areas just outside of it didn't. Casinos got bailouts, the small businesses got dust. Foot traffic vanished overnight, locals stopped spending, and tourism numbers plummeted.
The once busy plaza that we're standing in right now?
It never recovered. Some stores tried to hold on. A nail salon, a liquor shop, a 24-hour diner. They lasted for a few years, serving the few loyal customers who still came around. But as the city shifted, so did its priorities. Developers moved on to newer, shinier projects. And this corner of the city, the one that had quietly served real people for decades, was left to rot. Then came the rise of online shopping. The pandemic lockdowns only made it worse. The few tenants that survived the recession finally gave up. Their lights went out one by one until there was nothing left but the hum of old air conditioners and the echo of empty hallways. If you walk through the parking lot now, you'll notice how time has slowed down. The asphalt is cracked, weeds push through the lines, and old shopping carts lie rusting in the corners. You can still read the faded lettering above the doors: Family Market, Vegas Cuts, Dollar Zone. Each name is a reminder of a life that used to exist here and disappeared quietly. But this isn't just a story about decay. It's a story about how Vegas works.
The city doesn't preserve, it replaces.
Old things don't fade into history here. They get erased and rebuilt, unless they stop being profitable. That's the paradox. Vegas sells excess, but it hides failure. When a resort dies, it's demolished and replaced with a new one. But when a local shopping plaza dies, it just sits there forgotten, ignored, unprofitable. Too small for investors, too broken for revival. It becomes a scar the city pretends not to see. And maybe that's what makes this place so haunting. Because it's not just an empty mall. It's a piece of the real Las Vegas, the one that existed before the luxury brands, before the celebrity restaurants, before the algorithms decided what kind of city this should be. Talk to the people who lived here, and they'll tell you, this used to be our spot. They remember the weekends, the lights, the families, the laughter. They remember when Vegas was more than just a brand, when it still felt human. But the city moved on. It traded its small-town heart for corporate polish. It forgot about places like this. And here's where it gets interesting. Developers still own this land, but they don't rebuild it, they hold it. Because for them, even decay can be profitable. They wait for the next boom, the next casino expansion, the next real estate wave. Then, when the value spikes, they cash out. So the mall stays empty. Not because it can't be saved, but because it's more valuable dead than alive. That's the cruel truth about modern cities. We don't demolish failure anymore. We let it sit as an investment, and as long as those numbers make sense on paper, the silence stays. But the silence says a lot. It tells a story of forgotten workers, of lost small businesses, of families priced out of the neighborhoods they built. It tells the story of how the city that never sleeps learned how to ignore the things that no longer shine. If you come here at sunset, the view is surreal. In one direction, you see the strip golden towers, flashing lights, the hum of traffic. Turn around, and it's the opposite. Broken windows, empty lots, shadows stretching over abandoned signs. Two different worlds just blocks apart. That contrast is Las Vegas, a city built to distract you from what's right behind it. And yet somehow, that's what makes this place so fascinating. Because the decay here isn't total. Nature is creeping back in. Plants, birds, even a few stray cats have claimed what the city left behind. It's quiet, yes, but not dead. It's just waiting for someone to remember it. Maybe that's why this place feels different from the glitzy ruins of the old casinos. This one isn't dramatic, it's subtle. It didn't explode in scandal or crash in flames. It just faded like a memory everyone agreed to forget. And in that fading, there's something honest. Something that says more about Vegas than all the marketing ever could. Because if you really want to understand this city, you can't just look at the lights. You have to look at what the lights are hiding. And sometimes, that means walking a few blocks away from the strip into the silence, the shadows, and the stories left behind. This abandoned strip mall may look like a failure, but in its quiet decay, it tells the truth about what Vegas really is. A city that keeps reinventing itself, even if it means leaving its past to crumble. And maybe that this forgotten strip mall isn't just an empty space, it's a reminder. A reminder that behind every neon sign and billion-dollar resort, there are places and people that the city left behind. Vegas doesn't bury its history. It lets it fade. And when the lights move to the next big thing, what's left behind becomes invisible. But these ruins matter. They're proof of what happens when a city grows too fast to care. They show the cost of ambition, the quiet end of small dreams. Every broken window, every faded sign, every empty parking space tells a story. Not of failure, but of change of a city that keeps trading its past for another promise of profit. And that's why we're here. To remember what the billboards forget. To show the beauty in the breakdown. If you believe stories like this deserve to be seen, subscribe to Decay Report. Because the collapse isn't coming. It's already here. This is Decay Report.